We are back with match 2 of the round of 8. I am Nyoken, joined by Scan. It's going to be a TVP today. We're going to see our second place finisher from last season, Mini, go up against Royal. Scan, what are your thoughts on this particular matchup?
Well, if I remember what happened between Royal and Mini, I remember like maybe seasons ago or 2 seasons ago, Royal got eliminated in round of 16, I believe. Maybe it was round of 24. Like Mini was beating Royal with just a evil probe micro and just harassing in the beginning of the stage and pretty much triggering Royal to play a bit sloppery, and that's how it was a season or 2 seasons ago. But now Royal has become so much of a stronger player nowadays, and he's already got into round of 8 this time.
Yeah, he's into the round of 8, and he is super deadly, just like Rush. He's one of the top tier Terran players these days. Now, I wanted to get your thoughts on Royal's chances, and it seems like you think he's got a good shot because we talked about it earlier. Light wanted to play versus Mini because apparently Light can't lose versus this guy. What are Royal's chances versus Mini? Does he have a shot versus the second place finisher from last season?
Royal is a type of player who likes to play a lot of different mind games in the beginning of the stage. Oh, I guess we're gonna be moving into openings here. Yeah, that's the round of 24. That's what I'm talking about. Season 10.
이곳에서 한번 찌르기 대성공인데요. 자!
테란전은 제가 이제 힘들어하고 저분들도 이번에
몇 시즌 동안 4강에 테란이 없었다고 하던데 제가 꼭 한번 가보겠습니다.
청춘과 열정, 젊음을 대표하는 에너지 드링크
guys,
퍼포먼스로 앞서가는
once again here
함께합니다.
it's going to be some interviews
안녕하세요,
for those 2 players, Royal and Mini.
경기 풀세트 접전
So
끝에
she's summarizing about
승리를 거두고
2 days ago, round of 8 match 1, Soki versus Queen. That was a super intense mind games between those 2 players. But we also need to look at these 2 players, Royal and Mini, and Royal's his first time making it into round of 8. And this is your first time making it into round of 8. This is your first time playing best of 5 series on ASL. How do you feel?
긴장감도 조금 있긴 한데 뭐 엄청 막 떨리는.
He does feel some nervous when he's about to play this game, but once he stands in the stage or on the stage, he doesn't feel much of a pressure.
상대가 변현재 선수여서 조금은 더 기분이 좋은가라는 의문이 생기거든요. 상대 변현재 선수에 대한 생각은 어떠세요?
How do you think about your opponent, Mini?
그 상대 정해질 때 솔직히 어떤 선수를 만나도 저한테 쉬운 선수는 없지만 최근에
So Royal is saying no matter who he's going to be facing against in round of 8, it is going to be always tough. He's glad that he's playing Terran vs Protoss because he started to have a lot of confidence playing against Protoss recently online and a lot of fun matches. So he feels happy about this.
이보다 더 좋은 대지는 없다라는 말씀을 하셨더라고요.
So when you saw this group nomination for the round of 8, you said this is your dream bracket scenario because you also have played against Queen from last season. You beat him, and you also have beat Royal before. So you should be also feeling confident about this.
아 솔직히 이제 많이 유리한데 제가 첫 세트까지 이제 제가 선택 권한이 있었더라면 이제 첫 세트
So,
가져가면
Mini is
이제
talking
엄청
about the
유리하게
map
끌고 갈수
choice.
있을 거라고 생각했는데 이제 아쉽게 이제 첫 경기는 지성이가 선택하게 됐더라고요.
So he saw about the map choice that Royal chooses a map first and then he chooses a second. So he feels a little
많은 프로토스 유저들 팬분들이
a little off from his plan
부담을 좀 주지는 않을까
because he wanted to choose the map first, but Royal chooses first.
어떤가요?
아 솔직히
So
저번 시즌도 그렇고
he still needs to be aware of Royal's
좀 외롭게
Royal's
싸우는
plan.
느낌이 들더라고요. 근데 이번 시즌도
So Mini is
이제
talking
지성이가
about how he
이기면
feels lonely
자신감이 있을 것
when
같고,
nobody is
테란전
on
이제 다전제에서 이기면
round of 8
더 자신감을 생겨서
for
이제
Protoss
승리하지
lineup.
할수 있지
He's
않을까.
the only
결승을 할수
Protoss
있을 것
player
같다.
who is in round of 8, so he
라는
feels very
자신감을
lonely.
변현찬 선수가
So he's gonna
내비쳐주셨는데 김진성
he
선수도
feels
상대적으로
confident that he
타이밍이
can
때문에 잃을 것 없다라는 마음으로
make it
좀
into final
자신감
once
있게
again
경기를
this
펼칠
time.
수도 있을 것 같거든요.
그쵸. 아무래도 저는
And as you said on the interview,
한
you
단계씩 올라가고 있는 중인데
said
그 8강도 잘한 거긴 한데
you have been improving a lot.
이번에
Like every season,
4강이
you show us you're improving and you're climbing up higher and higher.
영훈이 형 솔직히 할만하다고 생각을
할만하다.
뭔가 좀 욕심이 생기더라고요.
어.
그래서 이번에 이기면은 4강도 잘할 수 있을 것 같아가지고 거기 이기고 싶어요.
두 선수
So Royal
오늘
says he's
경기를
very desperate that he
승리한다면
really
결승에
wants
갈
to win
수
against Mini.
있다라는 마음인 것 같습니다. 그만큼 오늘 경기에 대한 집념이 상당할 것으로 보이는데
And he feels confident.
김지성 선수 뭐 저저전 8강 1경기에서
He really wants to make it into semifinal.
판짜기의
But this is your first time making it into best of 5 series.
판짜기를 해 오셨는데
And whenever you play on best of 5 series, you gotta be setting up a lot of plan.
아무래도 저는 다전제 경험이 적다 보니까 1세트를 좀 내주면은
Royal says
끌려다닐 수
he's the one has least experience of playing best of 5 series on an offline tournament. He thinks he must win the first game in order to keep up his pace, and he does not lose to Mini.
일단은 다른
Is there
세트보다
anything
이제
that you
세트가
plan for
조금
game
더 이제
number 1 or
수준이
any
당연히
best of 5
높은 거는 이제
series?
모든 선수가 그럴 거고 이제
When he
저희가
says
선택한
any kind of
분이
player who's
있다
playing
보니
best of 5
이제
series,
1세트를 따내면
they are always
제가
wanting to win the game number 1 game because the atmosphere, the game pace is always matter for the players to play better for the next game and so on.
완승도 가능할 거라고 보시나요?
So he also says if he wins this, he says if he wins the first game, he can win against Royal 3-0.
세트만 이긴다면은 3대0.
And how about you, Royal? So Royal say if he wins his first game, Royal also thinks he can make it into semifinal by winning against Mini 3-1 or 3-0 as well.
이번에 좀 준비를
Any last word?
중에 제일 많이 했거든요. 그래서
So all the tournaments that I've been playing, this is my first time preparing a lot.
알겠습니다. 변현재 선수.
So he really wants to show his best. And also for Mini.
네, 김지성
And
선수와 변현재
since
선수
he's the
멋진
only
경기
Protoss
기대하겠습니다.
player
인터뷰
who made it
고맙습니다.
into
고맙습니다.
this quarterfinal, he feels lonely and he wants to show how good he is as a Protoss player. He wants to climb up into semifinal as well. Thank you for the interview.
4강에 오를 선수는 어떤 선수가 될지 ASL 시즌12 8강 2경기 지금부터 함께 만나보시죠.
So thank you for the interview scan. And as mentioned, Mini, the lone ranger, the lone Protoss in the tournament, he has to stay in it. Otherwise, there's going to be only Zergs and Terrans that remain.
True. So we are looking at this key points of both of the players. This is his first time Royal. It is his first time making it into quarterfinal. And if he wins this best of 5 series, he's gonna be the first Terran after the 3 seasons who is making it into semifinal. So it also shows the recent 4 months of online PvP win rate is 58.9% win rate. Seems decent also for Mini. This is the 5th time making it into quarterfinal, and his best of 5 series on ASL PvT for Mini. It's only 0-2, so he has been losing all those best of 5 series so far.
Wow, he'll be looking to fix that record there. Of course, we're getting a rundown of Royal statistics in Season 9. He I know he played... he lost versus Best in Season 9. Then he lost versus Mini in Season 10, 1 versus Ruin in Season 12, and also 1 versus Free in Season 12. So this time around, his Terran versus Protoss looking a lot stronger. However, I have to say Ruin and Free are a bit of a tier down compared to Best and Mini. Then we get a look at Mini's win rate. Look at those earlier win rates. Not the greatest, but once 2020 kicked in, oh man, they shot up.
So that seems a little odd that he was not playing really well in Season 3 to 4, Season 5 to 6, and Season 7 to 8. That seems really off, but you know how all those the PvT meta has shifted to speed shuttle into storm drop harassment, and also sometimes Mini is the only one Protoss player who uses a Corsair shuttle together, like a fastest play style, where he absorbs all the missile turret shot with the Corsair and shove all of his shuttle inside of Terran's main base. And we're also looking at this point of the match. It says that both of the players, the bracket, they're pretty much ideal to make it into the semi-final, and this is the first time for Royal to make it into round of 8. How far is he gonna be improving? And also for Mini, he's the last Protoss who survived in this round of 8. Is he gonna be overcome and break this limit and show that he can also survive more than the other, just like other Zerg and Terran players are? And also, Season 11 can be a rematch versus Queen as well.
Yeah, you know, Mini wants to get back into that round of 4 and then just crush Queen again. We're going to look at the maps. We've got Polypoid, then our boy Lemon in set 2, Revolver, Ascension, and Largo. I'm trying to think of what's missing right now. Eclipse is missing, of course. What is the last one that's missing?
Must be the another 4-player map. I think it's Good Night.
Yes, Good Night. Good Night is missing. So what about this map pool? Does it favor either race? Do you like it as Terran? Do you like it as Protoss?
I would say I think it's gonna be more favor towards the Terran, because Lemon it's kind of like a 2-player map, but it's still a 4-player map. You have to go for the scout, and all of the maps is kind of like no 2-player maps at all for Royal. So I think it's gonna be feeling confident for Royal to play this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I forgot about that. There is no Eclipse there, and then that makes it super easy to not have to deal with shenanigans. Also, I realized that there's no Ascension there either, so not going to have to deal with aggressive openers, most likely. But we do know that Mini likes to mix it up. We've seen him Proxy Gate. He loves to go for Forward Gate and harass with Zealots. Looking at the stats of Mini now, we saw Royal statistics were pretty good, but Mini's, it's a bit better. And look at that Zerg win rate. And this tells you a lot about the race distribution in ASL, because look how many more games he has versus Zerg. There's like 55 games versus Zerg and just maybe 25 total versus the other races.
Yeah, it looks like the weather started to become so cold in Korea that everyone or every players are pretty much needs to warm up their hands, kind of blowing on their hands. Try to warm up their body. Looks like players are ready.
Well, it's important to keep your hands warm, and it's important to keep them not sweaty. Remember last season, we saw Larva pull out the hair dryer. I've never seen that before. And we know that Mini's one of the fastest players on the planet right now, so he may have to pull out that hair dryer too. Looks like our players are ready. We're going to be going into our first game momentarily. It is going to be on Polypoid, and we'll see who can get that quick 1-0 lead, because they both think if they win the first one, they could potentially win 3-0. Alrighty, in the bottom right, our Terran player in the red, it is Royal. And then in the top left, our second place finisher from last season, it is Mini. So we've got Polypoid here. What can we expect for openers? You know, I've been playing ladder lately. I think 90% of games I face 12 Nexus. Not even exaggerating. It's crazy.
I totally
how often
agree.
players
Yeah,
play that.
everyone pretty much goes for 12 Nexus. And I'm not sure whether Mini is gonna be starting with the 12 Nexus first, or maybe just a classic of doing Gateway Scout and try to go for the early Zealot regression. But here's the thing that we must know. Royal spawn at the bottom right. The bottom right side for Terran, there's a high chance that Terran player can also go for Gasless Expand, the Rex expansion. And we gotta be looking carefully here whether Royal is gonna be going for Rex Expand or Factory Expand.
Yeah, I've been seeing more and more Terran players go for Gasless Expand. Bottom right's a good position for it, as you mentioned. One thing that I love about Royal compared to other players like Flash, for example, or Light, is Royal reminds me of Fantasy in the sense where there are games where he will just brute force macro you, but there are other games where he'll go for dropship play, harassment type play, and I love that he can mix it up like that. And there it is, Scan. You called the Gasless, and I called the 12 Nexus. Now, I personally hate Gasless versus 12 Nexus. Can Royal do anything about this, especially since it's cross map?
Well, to me, if it's a cross spawn and if it's a Rex Expand or Gasless Expand versus 12 Nexus, Royal has a little bit of a choice whether he can go for double machine shop into speed and spider mines research together and go for the early vulture production in the beginning of the game before the observer comes out from the robotic facility. And there's another step that Royal can do is I'm going for the starport one factory into starport and go for the vulture drop, but we see Royal is not making 15cc, just immediately putting down the second depot.
Yep, so he is playing safe. You have to remember, Mini is one of the aggressive Protoss players. He will forward gate, he will put a lot of pressure on you. So I'm not surprised that much to see Royal play a little bit cautious here. Now, we do see that Royal ended up going for the N Scout because, as I mentioned, 12 Nexus is very common these days for whatever reason, and unfortunately, the N Scout catches neither position, so he's not going to be able to do anything about this. Probe is going to come in and see a Marine and get pushed back. Now, the question is, Mini did not get scouted yet. Will he build a single Zealot?
Well, I would say he already built those double gateway in the beginning, so I think he might be making double Zealot before the core finishes. But once that probe sees Royal's Natural, he might cancel one of the Zealot production. But I think just by looking at those Marine movement, he might not be interested in making the second Zealot. And here's the second, or I should say, yeah, that must be the second pilot. That's the second pilot right now. Mini is making, and the bunker is already there at the Natural. So even without seeing there's a command center at the Natural for Mini can just assume, oh, he's playing really passive, so he might. There's a high chance that Royal has gone for the factory expand.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Royal's done a good job to keep the probe back, and it still didn't really confirm whether there was a command center or not. I don't think it got within range. So to me, if I was on Protoss' side, I would think, okay, you scouted me, you still built the bunker, you probably did factory expand, and there's no pressure coming out. So that's like the dream situation for Mini. And to answer the question, did he build a Zealot? Well, the answer seems to be no, which means this guy got away with the greediest 12 Nexus you can really get. And Royal also built 3 Marines and a bunker already, which doesn't help him at all. So this is the dream opener for Mini. You can see that he's even already started his Robo. He skipped range to get that. So this is just perfect so far.
Ooh, look at the Royal's Natural. He just started making that second refiner already in the beginning. But we saw from the Mini's main base that he started that robotic facility before the range upgrade. And I find this kind of like a Mini's opening is just kind of super greedy. Like he literally didn't make any of a Zealot in the beginning and just straightforward to get those robotic facility. And I'm not okay, I'm looking at carefully whether he's gonna be going for, okay, here's a robotic support bay.
I find this particular opener the hardest to punish as Terran, because when you go for the timing attack, like the 3 tank timing push, it comes across the map, 6 minutes, 6:30, And even though Protoss skipped range, by then they have range. It's already kicked in, and they've had 2 gate for a long time. So you can see that I think Royal's aware of that. He's not going to pressure. He went for the fast double gas, as you mentioned. He's going to pump out a ton of tanks. He's also getting his armory. And we may be going into a long split map style game like we saw earlier between Light and Snow.
Yeah, I think that might be the one of the choice what Royal is going to be looking forward to do. We saw Royal has made that armory as a natural. I think it is covered by the webcam. Yep. Yes, there is the armory. +1 is on the way, and he's also getting the double Compton station. He's gonna be soon using those scanners to figure out what exactly he's doing. And we see that there's a Stargate already started at the main base.
Yeah, Stargate already started, and unfortunately for many, Royal went for scans this time. So he should scan it immediately, but it is kind of tucked in between the main and natural. I don't know if he'll scan that exact spot. It's crucial that he finds it because he needs to start putting down factories if he's going to do that and go for potentially a timing. Now, Goons are doing a good job to push back these Marines, pick off 2 of them, and that Reaver is coming across the map. And then, it looks like that could be... Do you think that's Siege and range, or do you think it is Mines and Vultures?
I think he might be getting the Goliath because judging by how fast his... all those armory is, but the natural seems vulnerable. Okay, here's 2 Goliath with the 3 Siege tank on the high ground. Gotta be supporting here, but Goliath are falling, and I think this is not looking great for Royal at the moment. He does get another 3rd and 4th Goliath out of... Okay, Scarab didn't fire, that's a good news.
Yeah, this was a disaster for Royal other than the one time the Scarab not firing. Goons are getting a little bit ambitious trying to engage this tank, but Mini buying the time he needs to get those carriers up, and he's also popping tanks, which is great. That means it's going to delay the push that much longer. We see that as soon as Royal scanned the Stargate, he instantly put down more factories. He's already at 4, but both of these Stargates are already done, and he's already starting to pump out those carriers.
Yeah, that is definitely looking scary. For Royal to how he should be planning to do so, but I don't think he can go for the 2-1 playstyle. He gotta go for probably adding 2 more factory, or maybe even go for 7 factory total and try to calculate for any sort of a timing attack in the beginning before the number of carriers becomes large. And the observer finally arrived at Royal's main base and start seeing, okay, here's another factory. The 5th factory is going up. So that means Royal, the first scanner that he used, he probably have seen that Stargate was going up. Here's another scan we just heard. Picking up the Observer nicely.
Yep, goodbye Observer. And this is an awkward situation for Royal because he clearly wanted to go for heavy upgrades, potentially split map. But now he's stuck in this situation where he's going to be going into at least 5 factory, probably 6 or 7. And I don't think he has a starport, so he's not going to be able to go into 2-1, which is of course the crucial upgrade. And there's the 6th factory for him. Instead, he's just going to go for this 1-1 timing. I think it's about 2 minutes until it kicks in, but by then the carrier count should be between 4 and 6. And for Protoss, generally that's the number that you need to start dishing out a lot of damage.
So right now, even though Royal has taken quite a lot of damage in the beginning at 6-minute 37-minute mark, but I'm kind of liking about this plan that Royal is actually keeping up the supply count, 100 versus 100, 101 here, and now Mini just got 2 carriers are out, but Royal is adding another factory. This is going to be the 7th factory timing attack, but before he moves out, Royal is trying to get some spider mines laid on the center of the map so he can maybe catch some of the goons whenever they are retreating. Maybe he might be start unsieging all of his seats, and yes, he did. He unsieged everything. He knows where the goons are. He should be feeling confident about this and start moving out. He does confirm those are 2 carriers are out on the map.
Well, this is a faster timing than I was expecting. Royal is already moving out, and supplies are dead even pretty much. And actually 12 of them is locked up in the Stargates for Mini. So right now there's army advantage for Royal. There's just 2 carriers. The first couple carriers have popped out. They don't even have all 8 interceptors. However, there are only 4 Goliaths, so if even just 1 or 2 get taken out, all of a sudden, the carriers are easily going to pick off everything. Let's see if Mini can accomplish that. He's going to try and focus down a couple tanks, and we do have goons moving across the map to try and deny reinforcements, but honestly, they're kind of off in no man's land right now.
Yeah, I'm looking carefully of Royal's decision making. I like how he's sending more of vultures and additional Goliath here, but now I think all of the guns are kind of like out of place. I think those guns are trying to go for the backstab, or I should say cutting off all those reinforcements, but the natural is just literally open, and now Royal is just adding up all those missile turret right next to his siege tank, and if he start able to attack the natural, the Mini's natural, that is not going to be looking good for Mini.
Yeah, with 3 SCVs or 2 SCVs building turrets, all of a sudden it doesn't matter if you only have 4 Goliaths. You can just spam a bunch of turrets for anti-air defense. Tanks are almost in range of that Nexus. Now you can see that the carriers are focusing down the Goliaths, but the turret support is doing a good bit of damage. Now this is what we're waiting to see. Can Mini cut off reinforcements? And the answer is yes, and that means that this army of Royal is stuck, and 4 carriers should beat this amount of turrets. There's only 1 remaining, and now we have isolated tanks.
Yeah, now those carriers are
no.
pretty much picking up all the remaining missile turret, and now the reinforcement is not actually merging for Royal. This is something that right now Royal needs to be focusing on. I mean, all those 9 tanks at Mini's natural just literally given away for free, so now he needs to retreat all of his siege tank and save those tanks so he can maybe look for another timing attack. But when I looked at Mini's worker count, it seems really low to me. Maybe a lot of siege tank shot probably picked up a lot of probes or something.
Yeah, it is quite low. What was painful for Royal there, of course, losing his army, but if he had moved even just an inch farther up, he would have been in range of that Nexus. Then he could have traded his tanks for a Nexus, and he actually wouldn't have been in a dire situation. Now I think he's in a bit of trouble, because as a Terran player, losing 10 tanks like that and not really killing much, oh, that hurts. But as you mentioned, the probe count is just so low. I'm just so shocked that Royal is still up in supply. How did that happen?
Yeah, this is something shocking to me what I'm seeing. Okay, here's more of the carriers are coming out. Maybe even though Royal failed to go for a kill move for the execution and try to take down the Nexus, but I guess it might be still playable because he did kill a lot of probes at the natural, and now he's trying to be turtling at this moment where he's taking the 3rd expansion, or maybe he might be going for those double starport and making some cloak raids, because now Mini is just gonna be working on his the basic mechanics where he gotta be making a lot of probes once again, and Mini just okay, try to do something, picking up some of the spider mines.
Well, Mini is setting up like he wants to attack, but his army honestly is not that scary, other than the, of course, 5 carriers that are there. Like, the ground army is almost non-existent. Now, unfortunately for Royal, he has almost no vultures, and vultures are kind of key in this scenario, because the Goliaths, of course, are going to be shooting the interceptors, not dishing out a lot of damage to the ground. But, okay, we've got shuttle comboed with carriers. This is a nightmare for Terran.
Oh, it's a double reaver. It has 10 kills. And I think this is gonna be triggering all those Goliath and SCVs getting stuck between of the buildings, each of them. Shuttle does not fall, but those reavers are pretty much doing some nice damage and assisting those carriers here.
Yeah, carrier reaver combo is nasty, and you can see it. Like, the Goliaths get in range, they just get bamboozled by this reaver. Now, the carriers are going to back off. It didn't deal as much damage as I thought, but it draws all the Goliaths out of his position. Now, that's a great move. He gets in range to pull some of the ground out, but now Mini's going to swoop around with these carriers and pick off some more tanks.
Yeah, I think the number of carriers is just way too large. And okay, here are some of the siege tanks still remaining. About getting some siege tank gets picked up by the carrier. Okay, that's a nice tank shot. Third
This is a-
expansion.
This is an isolated third expansion that might get picked off. Carriers find it, but look at that interceptor count. It's pretty darn low. Those 1-1 Goliaths did a really good job to dwindle the interceptor count, and now Royal's moving into position to save it. However, his tanks have moved to the center of the map, and these goons comboed with the carriers may be able to take this down.
Yeah, I think Royal needs to just give up this expansion and go for the counter attack. Maybe those East tank might gonna be doing some great job and maybe take down Mini's Natural and the third expansion at the same time. And the reinforcement right now Royal is making from the main base. Oh, tanks are just right moved.
Yeah, move commanding into the goons. A couple of them fall, but that's not a lot of ground left over. So Terran should be able to push through this. Meanwhile, Minis says, okay, well, you moved all your tanks. I'm going to push into your base too. And it's starting to get awkward. We've got a base trade scenario. +2 weapon is kicked in for the carriers. And now Mini has a 30 supply lead.
Yeah, I think this is a bad move by Royal. I mean, it is okay to give up for Mini's third expansion, and yeah, that's gonna be tapping out for Royal. Royal failed at that execution in the beginning. That probably caused him a loss here. But even though he failed the execution, he was kind of an okay spot because he killed a lot of probes.
Yeah, he was in a better spot than I was anticipating. Watching the supply go up all game long, you're just like, well, how's this guy even in supply? Doesn't 12 Nexus just let you zoom to 200 so fast that it's almost impossible to catch up? Yet somehow Royal was able to do that, and it was a dangerous situation for Mini for a little bit of time, but those carriers catching those 10 tanks, that was a game changer. Now you can see Royal, he had a bit of a disappointing look on his face. I think he realized he kind of just messed up a little bit. He could have potentially won that game, but that means Mini is up 1-0, and he mentioned it earlier. If he wins game 1, he's going to win it all 3 games. So we'll see if he can do that, but we're going to go into a quick break, and then we're going to come back with game 2, which is going to be on Lemon. Oh, I forgot. We got the highlights. Now, this drop, I was actually waiting for them to click the Reaver and see if he gets that upgrade, right? Because you were telling me that Mini's one of the people that actually gets the Reaver upgrade for damage, and I thought he might supply block Royal.
I'm also looking at the worker count. I mean, 57 versus 31. Okay, I guess definitely that the timing push of Royal was doing in an early stage did do a significant amount of damage. And okay, but just the number of carries is way too large for me, and he's just able to keep up the game. And now, those Reavers is insane.
All right, we are back, guys. We're going to be going into game 2 momentarily. Yeah, that probe count that we saw at the end in the highlight, I thought that Mindy kind of just missed probes. I didn't think Royal had harassed that much, but I guess he did, because 50 to 30, I mean, that doesn't happen. So Minnie's definitely going to have to be careful with his harassment. I missed it. I didn't even see the harassment take place, so I wish we could get a rewind on how that happened, but yeah, Royal, even though he lost, he kept up in supply quite nicely, so you shouldn't feel too bad about that loss. And now he's going to be going into Lemon, and I think you were telling me that you like this map for Terran.
Well, I didn't say I like it. It's just
okay.
You know, it's just kind of feeling better to play against Protoss on a 4-player map instead of playing on 2-player map, where Protoss can just immediately scout your base and go for gas steal, or even, I mean, like, you know, all those shenanigan moves that Protoss players can do on 2-player map, like Proxy Gate, or maybe Natural Gateway, and then just go for a standard expansion. You know, it's always a problem when opponent takes your gas.
Yes, of course. That's actually why I wall my ramp, so if they gas steal, well, I at least kill their probe 100% of the time. Looks like players are ready. We're going to be going into game 2. Minnie is up 1-0. Let's see if Royal can bring it back on Lemon. A map that, I'm trying to think, have we seen a single TVP on?
No, not at all.
Yeah, we'll see how he wants to play here in our first Lemon game of the entire ASL. Okay, in the top left, our Terran in the teal, it is Royal. And then in the bottom left, going for a style that I actually don't see him play very much, that is Minnie. Now Lemon, it has the double gas, and it has so many mineral patches. How does this affect build orders in the early game? Uh-oh, I had a feeling this is going to be shenanigans. I think this is Proxy in the center of the map, actually.
Ooh. Well, personally, a lot of players kind of like to go for the macro play style, but also at the same time, you know, Terran, Zerg, well, not Zerg, but Protoss, they can actually do some kind of like early aggression in the beginning of the game, and we see Minnie decided to go for 7 pylon into maybe 8 gateway, and we gotta be looking carefully where either Royal is planning to go for the CC first or Rex expand, but we see him moving out.
Whoa,
already.
Whoa. What's going on here? I think he wants the 14 CC, so he's going to cross scout the center to make sure there's no gateway. And when he sees the gateway, he's going to put down racks, or maybe not. Maybe he's just going to go for the fastest scout. Okay, he's hooking around. Looked like he was going to go bottom left. He was. Oh, is he proxying? I can't believe it. Okay, well, Scan, I'm sure you've been in this situation before. How does this play out? No, I haven't either.
No, I haven't played this kind of a game scenario, but I think Royal decided to go for this proxy barracks because a lot of Protoss players like to go for the 12 Nexus in the beginning, and because of that, I think Royal decided to go for this 11-4 barracks and try to go for sniping that 12 Nexus in the beginning, but Minnie decided not to go for the 12 Nexus. He's going to be playing the early aggression with the mid gate, and lucky for Royal that he's going to be not going to be spotted in the first time by the probe scout here. He does have the enough gas to put down the factory, but whether he's going to be putting down the factory at the main base or maybe a proxy factory, I'm not sure about that second SCV scout by Royal.
I think he's going to... I thought he might proxy the factory, but then I remembered he hasn't scouted at all. So I think it is just going to be in the main. But we do have a double scout going off and went... Oh, he just scouted the Nat and turned around. Okay, well, this is going to get weird because now the Marine's going to get... Oh, okay. Did Minnie see that? We don't know, but Royal is aware of what's going on.
Yeah, this is not looking great for Royal. But good thing is that Minnie did not spot it up the factory at the natural. He just immediately climbed up, but he does not get to see it. But now the Zealots are somewhat getting some SCV drilled. I don't think any of the SCV has got killed. Ooh, none of the SCP got killed by a single Marine. Might survive by probe, the evil probe. There you go.
The evil probe. And I thought that Marine might get in the bunker, but nope. And now we've got a forward. Okay, the factory completed, so that's good news for Royal. But he's still in big time trouble because the cybernetics should be completing pretty soon. And look at that evil probe again. He's got 2 kills, man.
Yeah, but when I looked at the Mini's Vespin gas, looks like he did not get the core. Oh, so he was thinking, why don't you have your factory at the main base? Oh, you're going proxy factory, so I'm gonna build a forge at the main base. So I think that could be the one of the scenario where I somehow Mini decided to go for forge first before core, and I think this is an okay spot for Royal in my opinion because none of the Zealot has come out yet, and I think there isn't a single SCV, or I'm not sure if that's an SCV or oh, never mind. Both of the SCVs are at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, so Royal definitely does not know how fast the cybernetic score is.
Yeah, this is playable for Royal, but this is gonna get weird because that cannon is already up in the main. Now something is going to go scout. Yeah, Vulture's going to come scout and see that, oh, okay, wait a minute, you have a cannon here, so you can't do anything. But if we look at the supplies, I mean, again, they're pretty much even.
Yeah, this is totally playable for Royal because, I mean, he did lose a little bit of some amount of SCV count here and there, but look, those are the double scouting SCV are trying to go back home to go for mine some more of a mineral. And I'm not sure what the production is from the factory, but maybe it's a tank. But I guess he didn't expect it. Of the one more Zealot has still alive. Maybe he needs to bring back those Vulture home and maybe snipe that the Zealot first, or maybe Gun first. Oh, I think just gonna be ignoring the Zealot. He will be ignoring all the Zealot damage, and okay, he's blocking the path nicely, doing some damage to the Gun. Oh, one more. Yeah, he did.
Oh. Yeah, he just barely gets that Goon. That would have been so painful if he doesn't, because Goon's, of course, the counter in the early game versus Terran. Now, we do have double gate for Mini, and he's going to be going into Robo. Vulture is going to deny this Zealot, and that's a decent amount of units that should be able to take out the pylon in the center of the map. So all of us, maybe not. Goons are going to save the day for now.
I think Royal might needs to go for kind of like a one base play style, because I mean there is absolutely no reason for Royal to go for expansion first, because I mean look at how much of a mineral feels out there at main base. Like, you don't have to rush for the second base. So I think right now what Royal needs to be focusing on is the starport follow, because Paras always needs to make a robotic facility in order to figure out where the spider mines are, and that's just literally came into my mind. And Roy is actually putting on the starport at his main base, so I like this decision move.
Well, the pylon did go down, which means no more units out of that gateway. And Lemon, such a weird map that just Mini actually doesn't have a lot of space to put buildings down. It looks like we're gonna have an engagement, and those Goons do not hit the tank. They don't have range yet, so they're having a tough time dealing with this small amount of army. Now there's 3 Goons to try and come save the day. Mines are also preventing the Goons from engaging. And behind this, Mini is going to take his Nexus. He's feeling confident in his position right now.
So I guess Royal is immediately taking a guess that he's going for the Wraith follow-up, and he's already putting down the second refinery. I mean, that's a heavy Vespin guess that Royal right now is taking. So now Mini is just kind of stuck at one gateway into an expansion with the robotic facility. So the observer should be coming out soon. And yeah, I mean, okay, here's another gateway. It just was warping at the natural.
So this is a situation you don't see very often. We've got 2 factory on one base, but also with the starport. And we'll see how this is going to play out for Royal. He's going to ramp up his tank count pretty fast, but there's 5 to 6 Goons out already on the map. And with the observer, that means he's not afraid of these mines anymore. Royal desperately needs to get up siege mode or something, because 5 Goons will easily kill 3 tanks.
Yeah, he's trying to land that barracks and try to barricade a little, or maybe buy some time. Maybe he's just gonna be okay. Never mind. He does have 4 tank, so if he has 4 tank, he should be able to fight against that. But barracks does fall. I think those vultures does not have enough. Does not have all the leftover spider mines to put down. So I guess he's just gonna be moving forward. Those 2 guns just went down. So Mini is in a little bit of a trouble. And with this 2 factory with the single starport timing attack right now, Royal might be thinking to go for, might be effective.
Yeah, and there's that ledge right next to the natural. So if he can tuck those tanks right up against the side, I mean, it's going to be hard for Mini to engage there. So you might be right. Royal may be able to barrel down this Nat. We saw that the shuttle's already out, so that means that Reaver's going to be coming in pretty soon. And these goons, just like last game, are going to try and prevent reinforcements. 3 goons get on top of 1 tank. That's already 1 down. Can he get a second one? No, he cannot, but that tank in the front is pretty low. Oh, Wraith falls to 2 goons. So that means that this shuttle is going to be that much more effective.
Okay, now the tank and the gunner is just pretty much 1v1ing, and he does win the fight, so that's a good, but it's dangerously low HP still. And now Mini is desperately putting down a lot of gateway. He's just probably gonna be squeezing all of those Zealot and Goon right now, and that single Reaver is also a 1 hit away from the siege mode shot, so gotta be careful here.
Yeah, but Protoss player is so good at microing between siege shots. I don't know if the Reaver will ever actually die, but Royal, he is on Mini's doorstep. He's now supply blocked Mini. So this is the opportunity that Royal needs to take down this Nexus.
Yeah, we can see from Mini, he just made some couple Zealot. He might be gonna be using, okay, here's another Wraith just popped out. So yeah, Royal is just gonna be committing to kill this Nexus. So yeah, this is one of the things that about Lemon. Like once you start like containing, okay, the Reaver does unload, that's a good thing, but goons are just literally stepping on all the spider mines.
Yeah, and I don't think he used the Reaver at his natural. Yeah, it's just sitting there. It was glitching on probe, so it didn't help in the fight at all. However, Royal only has 1 tank and 3 vultures left. Vultures dealing a lot of damage to that front goon, but it's not enough for the tanks to, or it's not enough DPS from Royal to take down those 2 goons. And for now, Mini is going to hold, but behind this, Royal has expanded.
Yeah, I think Royal made a little bit of a mistake there, but I guess he's just not gonna be looking forward to go for more of a pressure here. He's just gonna be taking his expansion. And when we look at the supply count, 56 versus 57, this is totally playable. He does have those 2 raids and trying to look for hunting a shuttle, but he gotta be also careful. There's also cannon at the main base, so he needs to be careful with this wraith movement. And what is that? Okay, there is an armory at the main natural.
Yeah, just like last game, Royal's done a good job to keep his supply even ahead of Mini. And Mini, I don't know. I didn't see any probes fall, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But he has got 5 gate or 4 gate production, so he has a lot going for him. We saw that the barracks was rebuilt, so factories can start to get put down. Armory has been built too, so +1's going to start pretty soon. And we do see Royal is taking bottom middle for his 3rd base.
So Mini, I guess he might be feeling okay over here after he stopped that push. So that was a fantastic timing attack by Royal early, but I guess he's gonna be looking forward to do another timing attack with this 5 factory. But I'm not sure whether this is gonna be working really well. Okay, maybe he found a sweet spot here. Here's gonna be those 2 wraith harassment. That looks funny.
It's not every day you see Wraith harassment versus Protoss. Now these units are expensive, so he's got to be careful to get them out. He is going to save both of them for now, and he will be able to use them in his incoming push. I think Royal put down 5 factories if I saw correctly. Yeah, he's at 5, so again, ramping up his production, and he's actually going into heavy upgrades now because he's got that science facility coming too.
Well, he just got that armory, and now he's building the 2nd armory plus science facility. So this is not in my head. I mean, your +1 it just started like 30 seconds ago, and he's already getting the science facility. So maybe he's looking forward to get the science vessel out. Maybe he can cut off some observer with the science vessel with the 2 rates. That's the only way I can understand of his science facility timing.
Yeah, it is quite fast, but I think he built a second armory, so I think he may have just mistimed it and built it. We'll see if it is going to be a starport. I think it was blinking when we just got a glimpse of it there. Supply still in favor of Royal. It's 97 to 93, but Mini does have that third base, so that additional income's going to start kicking in pretty soon. I didn't get a look at Mini's tech. Like, does he have Citadel or anything? I don't think he does.
He built the Citadel when that 2 wraiths came inside of his main base, so he should have that done now, and probably getting the Zealous speed on the way. And when we look at the Mini's Vespin gas, I don't think he is ready to go for any sort of a Templar Archive switch here.
Well, supplies now in favor of Mini, just barely. Not a lot of gateways, though. It is still maybe, okay, I think he added a couple more, so maybe like 7, but it is 5 factory for Royal. Didn't see a command center or a big block get put down. Okay, he just put down a big block next. He put down 2 big blocks next to his factory, so I think this is a 7 factory, 2 base, 2-1 timing. Remember, Lemon has all those mineral patches, so it's giving him, I guess, a little bit of an extra mineral boost, but it's going to be mined out pretty soon.
That is definitely true what you just explained here. Looks like, yeah, that is a single science vessel already out for Royal. And Royal does, okay, I'm not sure what time exactly he got the armory, but I guess he just got the +1 just now, so that means Royal is working on the 2-1 upgrade. And okay, that is not a 2 base 2-1 upgrade timing attack by Royal. Royal had the command center, so that's a good news. He has a backup plan, but he also needs to be careful. Mini right now has more supply than Royal here, and he might gonna be going for the bust here.
Oh, Royal just unsieged, and instantly Mini's on top of it. Double Reaver here. Tanks are all out in the front. The Reavers are trying to barrel these down. Zealots get on top of them too. All of the Vultures were out of position, and this was the moment that Mini was looking for. Almost all the tanks are dead. There's just 3 left remaining in siege mode. Meanwhile, not that many goons left over, so maybe Royal can hold, but look at those Reavers. Okay, the Reavers die, but this was good damage from Mini.
It's just kind of painful to watch. From what I see, maybe Royal might needs to add another machine shop because the number of siege tank he just lost. I mean, it just takes millions of years to get the number of siege tank. Like right now he has only 4, and you know the gateway man's always gonna have a lot of guns and zealot whenever they want. Like you just press a lot of D button for Dragoon or Z button for a lot of zealot. So yeah, Mini is on such a great spot here. He's just gonna be bringing a lot of more of a reinforcement and probably sitting at the 9 o'clock side, and he's just gonna be turtling or probably sitting there and try to delay Royal's third expansion as much as he can. We see +1 armor is done for Royal. That's a good news.
Well, Royal again somehow has done a good job to keep up in supply. He's ahead in supply. The problem for him is his main's about to be mined out, and he desperately needs to get that third base. Meanwhile, he has found the mid-right base of Mini, and that's being denied as we speak. I don't think even Mini has anything going over there to save it, maybe a single goon. But tank count is slowly getting higher and higher, and the vessel survives, so he's still going to have D-Matrix available, and 2-1 should be kicking in pretty soon. So I still like Royal's position quite a bit.
Yeah, somehow the supply count is almost even, but something that we have to be remembering is those are the supply count right now the Royal is leading is just a purely Vulture.
Yeah, but this engagement I don't think was the greatest from Mini. Overly ambitious. He loses all of his actually he loses his almost entire army. Just 3 goons remain. He lost his shuttle, he lost his Reaver. These 4 Vultures that are now 2 are denying mid-right. And Mini doesn't even have that many gates. It's like 8 or 9 right now. And now this is going to be fresh income for Royal. He's setting up to take that third base.
It is somewhat interesting to know that that 2 Goliath range with the double race is kind of sniping those shuttle really well earlier. And now those 4 High Templar doing the nice storm up top of the siege tank. They're doing some great job, but okay, those 3 goons just literally died. If those goons all survived, maybe he could have bought more of a times under the mineral line, but I guess now he needs to be backing up because only a single goons remaining, and that single goon can be sniped by just a pure vulture. And I think the mid right side, those vulture attention pretty much bought a lot of time that Mini has to send a couple of goons over there. And now look how fast like Royals is constantly rotating those 2 vultures at the bottom right side. And yeah, Mini is just pretty much getting all those attention, or his attention just pretty much get drawn to the over there, and now Royal is just gonna be feeling okay here.
Yeah, third base is gonna kick in, but we do know that Mini loves to storm drop, and that was a lot of SCVs at that third base. So if we see a storm drop, potentially we could see upwards of 20 SCV kills. Mini now has closed the gap in supply. Just a moment ago, he was actually down supply because of the poor trade he has. And now this third base is pretty much fortified. I don't think really Mini can do anything about this. So the game is going to stabilize for now. Both players going to macro up. Not really good tech at all for Mini. I mean, Storm Drop is okay, but when Terran's going to be sitting on 4 gas, and you need more than just Storm. So we'll see if we see Arbiters or something, but I don't see a Stargate anywhere.
Yeah, as you say, you don't see any kinds of other tech besides this Robo and Templar Archive, the Storm Drop only. I think the longer the game it goes, we're just gonna be starting to turtle up here and try to buy sometimes. And we know the center of the map is literally wide open, just like Largo. And here's a single shuttle will be coming inside of Royal's main base, but I'm not sure whether this Storm Drop is actually efficient. Okay, it's a River Drop instead of a High Templar Storm Drop, so it might be still useful, maybe doing some decent amount of job. But okay, that Spider-Man did trigger.
And we can see that Vultures are going to find bottom right also. And at the same time, they're going to take down this Reaver because Mini, well, he can't save it because if the shuttle goes in, it's going to get shot by the turret. Mini was trying to buy time to open or to draw units out of position at the left side, and he instantly goes for an attack.
Ooh.
That's a good storm drop, gets a decent amount of SCVs, but unfortunately he needs to get more than this. He needs to storm those tanks. Oh, instant EMP onto 2 of those Templars. That was fantastic from Royal, and now there's just storms on top of the vessel, which Terran doesn't care about, but Terran did lose a decent chunk of SCVs there.
Yeah, when we look at those number of siege tanks, it's just way too many for Mini to bust. And I think Mini is struggling in this late game transition here, where Mini is just not spending his money right. I mean, yeah, he does have a lot of bases and a lot of gateways, but his macro seems a little bit off, and Royal is just keeping up the supply count really well here. And I think Royal just unsieged for some reason. Maybe he just thought that he can move out here because he feels like he has more army than Mini at the moment, but I'm not sure whether this is a good decision to move out, because storms, you should never underestimate those. Storms just can sometimes pretty much abuse and just kill your units for free. And yeah, somehow now Mini is having those supply lead.
Well, I'm looking at the map layout. I mean, Terran had to go pretty darn far to get a third base. They're going to have to go completely out of position to defend mid left and top middle if he ends up taking that base as his 4th base. So it's gonna be hard to defend all the positions. And meanwhile, Mini, he's starting to take the right side of the map, but Royal's tank count is getting super high. And actually I thought +3 weapon might be done. It's not done just yet, but you know it should be completing pretty soon. And once that kicks in, Protoss is gonna have a really tough time. And that's going to be 2 gates in a weird position at mid-right. Also gates at the bottom side of his main base. It's going to be awkward to macro all of these.
Yeah, we see those siege tank line. It seems great. I think Royal may have the 4th command center, or maybe he doesn't. I think that could be the single SCV. Send it towards to the 12 o'clock side and about to put a command center down there. So I think Royal is just trying to have those position. And try to, okay, he does have +3, that's a good sign for Royal. Maybe Royal just trying to get some of a position correctly for those siege tank, and whenever those guns are moving to the top right side. Maybe he just unsiege and decide whether he wants to pretty much tracing all the shadow or maybe go for the counter attack. But I think going for the counter attack might not be a good idea because, you know, storms are just insanely good unit.
Oh, so there go a couple storms. All those vultures die. He did lay a couple mines, but not in the most ideal position. Royal's about to be maxed out. Mini's basically maxed out. So you know Royal wants to attack. He's trading vultures right now to try and build up his tank count even higher. Remember, he's on 4 gas, so he has a lot of gas income. But his natural is now mined out. So he desperately needs to get top middle. And it looks like Mini's actually already on top of that. He's about to build cannons there to deny that base.
Hate that. Like a single pro building millions of cannon. I just hate it.
Well, for now, both players are kind of trying to determine what's the best option for them. Mini seems to have decided that he wants to backstab, and that's a lot of tanks, but they're all kind of grouped up. Goliaths are going to push the shuttle back, so there's not going to be a storm drop.
Oh, the
Ooh,
SCV.
SCV's already transferring. That was a Rax I thought I saw at the top middle. I don't know, but here comes the engagement. Can the storms get off? That's a good one on the top side. That's a whiff of the EMP.
Uh-oh, I think that fight seem looking too great for Royal, but somehow he managed to evenly trade for this fight. And I'm not sure what okay, that's a command center, so he also has the barracks over there at the 12 o'clock side, so that's a good news. And putting some of the spider mines, and those spider mines immediately cleared by the just a single side storm. And okay, I think I'm not sure whether that command center was the new one or he lifted from his natural. Looking forward to drop some of the Zala top of the siege tank, but doesn't really work well. Those High Templar, some of the High Templars did have almost full energy, but will get picked up immediately. So that wasn't unexpected.
Yeah, the Templars are not doing the damage that Mini was looking for, and actually the control from Royal microing that Goliath to ensure that the shuttle cannot freely move around was pretty perfect. He does keep one Goliath alive, and okay, shuttle's gonna come back again. Actually, we saw that Royal floated his natural. Okay, he gets a couple of SCVs. Gonna get some more? The answer is yes. He gets so many SCVs, like 5 or 6 more, and now we've got a 30 to 40 supply lead for Mini.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. I would like to see how much of minerals are left over at the 6 o'clock side, because Mini has been mining that third expansion for a long time. Okay, he still does have about like maybe 500 still, but those are the still fresh expansion that Mini is right now mining at the 3 o'clock side and the 4 o'clock side. And now look at how Royal is just pretty much tracing where Mini's army is. Okay, he's trying to snipe those High Templar and Zealots here and there, but the number of Zealots is way too many.
Dang. Yeah, it's just endless Zealots. I kept watching, like, okay, this will stop at some point. Nope, they just keep coming. But still, somehow Royal is able to almost kill the entire army. However, reinforcements are now coming for Mini, and it is slowly dwindling Royal slowly dwindling in supply. It looks like mid-left may have gotten busted.
And this doesn't looking great for Royal in my opinion, but okay, single siege tank still remaining. Try to snipe those goons from the distance. A nice tank shot from the low ground. Okay, somehow Royal is just keeping up this defending this push.
Yeah, ended up not busting mid-left, and he's going to re-secure this. However, he lost a chunk of SCVs. His mid-left base looks very undersaturated. Meanwhile, Mini is slowly rebuilding his army back up. He's up to 130. Royal at 115, so he's still in an okay position. But Mini is up one additional base, and he's got control. Wow, he's actually taking top right. You see that?
As Terran player, it's kind of like you should never give that on another spawning location. That's the moment where you're not gonna be happy about. But now vultures are out of place, and I think Mini is looking for another attack at the 9 o'clock side. Okay, shuttle does get picked up, but no one nice from top of the SCV, the mineral line. But the spider mines constantly like somehow triggering from the right side, and okay, now that unit's pretty much moving forward to snipe those low ground siege tank. But what does Royal have? Okay, he's gonna be bringing back some of the sea tank from the 12 o'clock side.
Yep, that's a decent storm. Hits the tank, but it doesn't. Okay, now it's going to hit the tank and the vulture in the back. And we see that Royal had to send all of his tanks from the top side down to mid left because mid left has now been busted in. That's a huge macro round for Mini coming back at him. It's just about 7 tanks defending from the low ground. Meanwhile, Zealots and more Templars are storming in. Oh, that's so many SCVs. Okay, he does send them back, but a tank shot knocks down like 2 or 3 of those SCVs. And I think actually Mini's done it. No, great focus fire from those tanks. Look how fast he killed those Templars.
Sniping all those High Templar was excellent by Royal because those storms pretty much buttering the bread on those sea tank and maybe just kill them with the next side storm or so. And now we see Mini is transferring some troops to probably 5 o'clock side. I think it's still playable for Royal still once he secured that 9 o'clock expansion, but the number of goons and a side storm is just way too many for Royal to take it. And I think Royal is just gonna be giving up. He decided not to take that expansion and probably just let him to pretty much bring all of his army to the mid left side, and maybe I guess looking forward some of luck to maybe trigger those spider mines on his Zealot and Gun here and there. Maybe just bring that command center to the top side might be okay for Royal.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard for him to come back though because it's now 3 base mining for Mini versus just 1. And he's also got to float that command center forever to top right to try and take a base. His SCV count doesn't even look that high anymore. And Mini's at 175 supply. Meanwhile, Royal's at just 105. I think Mini knows that he's in a dominating position now. Whenever Terran's got to lift a base up and move it somewhere else, you know you're in a good spot as Protoss. Here comes another huge attack. I think Mini's even going to take mid left. And that would just be the dagger straight through the heart of Royal. This may be our final engagement because this is so much supply from Protoss. Here he comes. No, he's going to back off for now. That is a lot of vessels. And vessels do surprising amounts of damage. Oh, look at those mines get triggered. 4 or 5 of them hit goons. Luckily, only 1 goon dies.
Yeah, but we also know those are the goons probably almost like low HP. Some of the spider mines are not getting picked up because those tile sets is considered as a high ground, and now so some of the Spider-Man does connect to those gun, and okay, once again another Spider-Man does trigger. I think Mini needs to be careful because that tile set is a high ground Spider-Man.
Yeah, and you can see that the units cannot move freely through the center. They gotta go in straight lines or diagonal line, and okay, still not the engagement that Mini wants just yet. He is going to pull back. An EMP whiffed right there. Okay, is he going to come in again? He knows that an EMP was whiffed.
Okay, so that's one nice EMP, 2 EMP, 3 EMP, 4 EMP. So I think he used those nice EMP on the Zealot, but just way too many army for Royal to defend. Okay, 3 sea tank remaining. I think those storms are pretty much doing a nice job buttering the bread on the sea tank, and now goons are pretty much last hitting and popping all those sea tank. And I think this is almost the end.
Yeah, EMPs were great, but Protoss is going to push through. 4th base has been breached. All the tanks died. All the vessels died. We heard the GG scans go out, and there it is, GG. And now Mini is 1 game away from his 3-0 prediction.
Royal was playing so well. I mean, he had like almost even supply count all the time.
Yeah, I thought he was in a fantastic position. What I thought was going to happen was I thought he was going to hit 2-1, take mid left, and then just push to the main constantly over and over and over. But Mini did a good job to make sure that never happened, keeping Royal back on his side of the map while also taking the bottom right side and letting that 3 to 4 base income kick in. I'm a bit worried for Mini though, and the reason I say that is 2 games in a row we've seen in the early mid game his econ seems to be lacking. Like I feel like he's actually missing probes, and that's allowing Royal to catch up because actually Royal didn't harass in the beginning, right? Like he had a push, but it didn't reach the probe line. I don't think.
That might be the true. That might be the thing, that the push wasn't working well, and didn't do much of a damage to Mini, and that was a little bit unfortunate for Royal. I mean, Royal was in such a sweet spot there, like he was about to like start containing him, but maybe a single race got killed by the two goons in the beginning. Maybe might lose all the vision on the high ground. And here's a replay what we are seeing. I think this is the moment where all of his units just got stuck, and you know how Orthos will always complain about like his
Yeah.
units getting stuck, and this is something that you can also see also happens to pro level players like Royal. And yeah, that battle doesn't seem too good for Royal. Oh,
Yeah.
here's a hot 6 here is coming.
Yeah, if that engagement happens to me, like as soon as I realize I'm out of position, I'm probably just already thinking about alt queuing out of the game. Like just get me out. Like I lost all my tanks. I don't know how you expect me to ever come back. But if you did notice the probed SCV count during that during that fight, it was 49 probes on 3 bases versus 55 SCVs. Now I don't think it's exactly super low, but remember, Lemon had like what? Like once you mine out a couple patches, you have access to like 11 patches in your main or something, right? Like to have only 49 probes on 3 bases seems like not enough.
Yeah, maybe Mini was just kind of playing on a low eco playstyle where he wanted to play super aggressive. That could be the one of the reason he had low worker count. But normally, whenever you're playing without the Arbiter playstyle, you kind of stay on 50 to 55-ish of a worker count and constantly working on those macro with about like 8 to 10 gateway with the double robo or maybe single robo. But that was somewhat interesting of how low the worker count was for Mini. Maybe he was a bit feeling too much pressure because this is the offline tournament. Like if you make a mistake, then you're pretty much like screwed. So maybe that could be the one of the reason he decided not to make about 55 worker count.
Yeah, it could be the case. It is just something I've noticed in the first 2 games that we've seen is that it seems like that's what he's going for, some type of low eco play, whether it's 2 base carriers or like you said, the 8 gate with Storm and Gateway Man. Now game 3, I'm trying to think of what map we had for game 3 before we went to commercial.
It is Revolver.
Oh yeah, Revolver. Well, we already saw craziness just now in game 2.
I played a
Do you
lot
think-
of map Revolver on ladder. I played a lot of Protoss players. I kind of find like defending your natural and the third expansion at the same time seems a little bit tough. I mean, especially whenever your opponent is playing those speed shuttle, like if your army is all sitting at the third expansion and you try to draw those army back home, like your unit's pretty much getting stuck at the natural for some reason, like between there.
Well, I haven't played enough Revolver to have that scenario happen, so we'll see if that happens in our upcoming game. But before that, we're going to go into a quick break. We are back, guys. We're going to be going into Game 3 momentarily.
Oh,
we gotta talk about that tumbler.
선수와 변현재 선수의 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 두
Yeah,
번째
we've been
세트까지
watching
진행되는데요. 현재 세트
these two games earlier.
2대 0으로
Round of 8, match 2.
첫 번째 세트
Mini has been leading the score 2-0 against Royal.
이두 번째
Mini
세트
has been
레몬에서
showing
역시
fantastic
변현재 선수가
strategies
상대방의
of
잘
going
파고 들면서 승리를
the carrier
거뒀습니다.
build and
자,
also
변현재
the
선수가
mid
세트를 리드하고 있는
the
가운데
mid gate,
여러분이
proxy
함께하는
gate
이벤트
aggression in
안내해드리겠습니다.
a
자, 먼저
second game,
ASL 공식
Lemon.
방송국
And
이벤트
here's the ASL Season 12 event, the winner prediction.
응원의 댓글을
You can
남겨주시면 두 분을
vote
추첨해서 ASL
for the winner
카드
prediction,
보내드리도록 하겠습니다.
and if your winner prediction
자,
gets
그리고 많은
correct,
분들이 기다리셨을
you can get the
소식입니다.
ASL
ASL
wallet.
유니폼 판매도 오늘 저녁 7시부터
And they're also
진행되고 있는데요.
from
아프리카
today,
TV
October
선수들이
12,
착용하는
Tuesday,
반팔 유니폼을 한정
7 p.m.
판매하고 있습니다.
They decided to
수요일에
sell this
선수들의 아이디 마킹까지 가능하다고
the
하니까
jersey
관심
shirt
있는
now,
분들은
the
아프리카
ASL
TV
jersey shirt,
검색하셔서
Africa
참고하시기
TV
바랍니다.
shop. Go there.
자, 이제 세 번째 세트가 이어집니다. ASL 생애
And
첫
we're about
대강
to go
경기를
into
치르고
game
있는
number
김지성
3.
선수, 그리고 프로토스의 유일한
And
희망
Royal,
변현재 선수. 과연 어떤 선수가
even though he's
가강의
behind,
자리를
even though he's
펼칠 수
falling
있을지.
behind in the score,
이어지는 전장은
in this
김지성
best of 5
선수가
series,
선택한 리볼버
still have a hope.
선수.
He can still keep up the game if he wins this game as well. Looking forward to see how well he's going to be played. And we'll be moving into game number 3 soon.
Yeah, Royal's playing well. He can definitely make a comeback like we saw Queen make yesterday. But Mini just playing a little bit better. Out multitasking, out microing. Just a little bit better play today. And he is up 2-0. One game away from making that 3-0 prediction real life. Now we've got Revolver coming up. I wanted to ask you, because I know you were telling me that you want to see 8 Racks versus Terran versus Protoss for some reason.
Did I?
Is Revolver a 12 Nexusable map? Like, does that happen often? Is it possible we could see Royal pull out 8 Racks versus Protoss here?
Well, I don't recall I said ARAX
No?
does work against Protoss, but...
but you want to see it? No?
Did I? I'm not sure.
I thought you said you wanted to see it on Ascension when we casted one of the Ultimate Battle events.
Oh,
Maybe I'm
like-
misremembering.
Or maybe we were talking about that TVZ game that a lot of pros do not use 8 Rex build against Zerg too much. They usually go for Rexipen so much that a lot of Zerg players are kind of used to it and they know how to beat against Rexipen a lot. So maybe that could be the something that you missed the lead understanding what I just said about the ARAX build. But Revolver ARAX build might work if Mini goes for the 12 Nexus, but I don't think Mini's gonna be taking a risk of going for the 12 Nexus when he's leading the score already 2-0.
We'll find out. Game 3 coming up right now, guys. Let's see if Mini can close it out. So in the bottom right, he needs your energy, guys. Down 2-0. It is Royal. And then our lone Protoss representative, one game away from making it to the round of 4 again. It is Mr. Mini. So we've got horizontal spawns. I think last time I saw horizontal spawns here, it was Sharp versus some Protoss, and he had a deadly, deadly push with turret support. And we saw Royal go for something similar on Polypoid in the first game. Do you think we'll see a similar push from Royal here, or does he have, or is he just gonna play standard 2-1 or something? You think?
I think Royal's just gonna be playing standard here on this game number 3 because he's already behind. Like he's already behind in this best of 5 series. If he loses game by making a greedy move or some kind of weird play style, he's just not gonna be happy with this 3-0 knocking out of this ASL tournament. And if I remember correctly, Mini did that some kind of weird of a gateway expand where he did a 16-16-16-16 thingy. And this is something that I've heard recently that some Protoss player or Protoss user on Korean StarCraft community was kind of like reinventing of the gateway expand where you go for only a single pylon and make a zealot, and whenever your supply count hits at 16 you start making the nexus. 16 Nexus into 16 Assimilator, 16 Pylon. So everything you pretty much shove all those building at 16 supply, and maybe that's what me is gonna be planning to do on this game number 3. And he did it against JYJ last time, and it worked really well.
Yeah, everything leads me to believe that that's exactly what we're going to see, because this is going to be a gasless expand from both players. There's that 16 supply mark that you're talking about. So Probe should be coming down to build that Nexus. He has not built an additional pylon just yet, so there's the Nexus. Let's see if that Assimilator and pylon comes down, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, again, the depot before the command center, so Royal definitely cautious of the potential that Zealot play is coming. And there's the gas that you mentioned, so everything is 16, 16, 16.
Yeah, it's a triple 16 build that a lot of products started to do because of that the casual products community user just start reinventing of this thingy, and it actually was working well. Oh yeah, you also have to go for the 16 cybernetics core as well, so I guess a quadruple 16.
Yeah. Well, we see that finally that second pylon has kicked in, so now he's already up to 19 supply. Zealot, okay. I thought that Marine misclicked and got bounced on the depot, but for now it is safe. Zealot's going to tuck itself behind the mineral line, be just annoying like it is in Protoss versus Zerg. Ooh, he's going to try and run in, but nice timing from the SCV to body block that main, but the Zealot now slips by, and we've got hidden tech on the map from Mini.
Yeah, if Royal needs to be thinking about this scenario, because I mean normally whenever opponent is doing the Zealot aggression, you kind of expected to see that Evil Probe also assisting the damage dealt together, and if he doesn't get to see a single probe harassment with a single Zealot aggression in the beginning, he should be aware of some kind of a cheesy build by Mini.
Yeah, that is something that when you're in a clear mind, you're aware that, hey, there's something missing here. But we don't know what Royal's mental state is right now, because remember, he's down 2-0. His life is on the line. Looks like he knows something is up, because look at that. He sent out double SCVs, but look at where he's scouting. He's scouting the entire right side of the map, but he's not scouting between top middle and the top right natural. We'll see if he repositions that SCV once he finds nothing, because that's where everything is.
I like how he's sending towards the 1 o'clock side, but I'm not sure whether he's gonna be turning into the left side. Maybe at the on the ramp side, maybe turn left side. He's trying to look for any kinds of a hidden building. He's trying his best to find it, because the probe didn't come. When the Zealot was harassing his natural, the probe didn't come. He has to find it no matter what.
Well, even if he finds it now, I think it's honestly too late, because that Templar archive is done, which means DTs are being built, and there's no eBay. He went for double factory. He's not going to find it, man. Whoa, my God, he procs the starport. Well, we're about to see Royal not happy about this, because he has no detection.
Oh, he does have Academy. So we do have some hope that Academy is already going up, and he does have nice SimCity at the natural, but he did lift up his barracks at the natural, so it's not a complete wall at the net. And now the 2 DT just came out, and I think it's just 3. I think it might be just 3 DT. He's probably gonna start shoving in everything, but we see him adding double comms station, which is something good news for us to know. But the scanner is not even done yet.
Yeah, it's just 10 seconds too slow, and we're going to see Royal's reaction in just a second. He doesn't even notice the blur. Okay, he does notice now. He backs off that tank. This is buying good time. I mean, you want to get those DTs in that mineral line ASAP. Let's see how he uses that scan. Remember, that's his only unit. He only has 1 tank. So I don't even know if he can even kill any of the DTs. Oh, the DT or the tank died.
It's 3 DT.
And I heard a scan go off, but it was in the main, which means that the DT is still alive in the natural, and it's not even going to kill the DT in the main. In fact, both vultures died, and it's DT man that's going to secure the victory for Mini here. There's the GG. Royal, he's going to go down 3-0.
So that's shocking.
I can tell you, Artosis, when he sees this, is going to say more than shocking. He's going to say, that's disgusting. What Mini just did there. 3-gate, DT. He had 5 DTs at the end. I mean, how do you kill it? They deal 40 damage each, and they basically just 2-shotted those vultures, instantly killed the tank. And Mini, he's going to be moving into the round of 4 with a deadly kill move for game 3.
Yeah, that was a bit unlucky for Royal. I mean, he knew what was going on. He was trying his best to find out any sort of a hidden building at the top right side, but that was like a couple inches away from seeing that hidden proxy 2 gateways with the Templar Archive. All those buildings were there. Now, yeah, Mini is just gonna be advancing into the semi-final like a piece of cake here. And here's what we're gonna be seeing from the replay. 2 DTs incoming, and he also adding the control tower at 1 o'clock. And now, look at the supply count. I mean, also the worker count. 30 probe only against 36.
Yeah, and nothing happened. And this was with comsats being added. So that's 4 SCVs that were lost. This is why I was worried for Mini. Is it just seems like the low econ thing is he's playing with fire. I mean, it worked out here, so good for him. But I think if they were to replay again, we could have a different result. But regardless, Mini played very well today, and we're going to go into our interview with our round of 4 qualifier.
Yeah, the only last hope of a Protoss player in this ASL Season 12, who's going to be advancing into the semi-final. 3-0 against Royal. Congratulations. And yeah, just said during the interview, you say if you win the game number 1, you're going to be winning against Royal 3-0.
경기에 좀 운이 많이 좋다 보니 이제 잘 풀렸던 것 같아요.
So he says the game number 1 kind of worked out well, that he was having lots of luck there.
초반에 질럿이 없이 빠르게 리버를 가시는 캐리어를 가시는 전략을 좀 준비를 하셨는데
So from game number 1, you didn't make any zealot.
지성이가 저렇게 마당에 짓고 이제 마린으로 아마도 이제 가로 세로였으면 좀 피해를 제가 많이 봤을 거예요.
So
그걸
he's
좀 의식하고
talking
제가
about
빌드를 준비한 것 같았는데
Royal was kind of planning to do some of either horizontal or vertical matchup, that he wants to go for some sort of a marine pressure against the 12 Nexus. That could be the reason why his marine was moving forward. But it was a cross spawn, and Royal Mini was feeling confident that it's not gonna be the marine with the SCV cheese, so he didn't make any zealot.
순간 상대 기지를 제가 12시에 SCB랑 만나고 이제 센터 쪽에서 SCB를 보는 순간 뭐지 생각해가지고 당황해서 좀 BBS라고 생각했거든요. 그래가지고 빠르게 포지를 짓는 바람에
Mini is talking about the game number 2. He saw the scouting SCB at the 12 o'clock side, and he was kind of thinking Mini was thinking Royal was doing the BBS build, the double proxy, 2 barracks in the middle, and go for BBS all in. So that's the reason why he built the forge at the main base. But at the end, he didn't know Royal was going for 4 barracks into a factory follow-up.
후반까지 갔는데 후반에서도 이제 제가 좀 다른 맵에 비해서 게이트 짓는 곳이 좀 특이해서 이제 미네랄 뒤쪽에도 게이트가 있다 보니 좀 생산력이 별로 안 좋았거든요.
So he's talking about the game number 2 that he thought that he was gonna win in game number 2 easily once he won that battle when Royal was trying to move out and trying to take the 3rd expansion. But since he hasn't practiced so much about game number 2 Lemon, and he didn't practice much about gateway placement as well, so his macro was a little bit off for him.
해서 이제 그쪽을 짓게 되었는데 이제 제가 리플레이를 보니 지성이가 제 생각과 똑같이 이제 전진 로봇을 서치하더라고요. 그래서 이제 좀
So Mini is talking about game number 3 on Revolver.
잘했던 것 같아요.
He kind of expected that Royal is definitely gonna look for the scouting probe and scouting pylon or any sort of a hidden pylon, and that's the reason why Mini decided to make a pylon in a different location so it doesn't get caught.
일단
it worked out well
김명훈 선수로 결정이
when-
됐어요. 변현재 선수 어떠세요?
So as you say,
솔직히 말해서
now
명훈이 형이랑 결승에서 하고 싶은데 이제
you are gonna
제가
be playing against
다섯째
Queen once
저보다는
again
한
in
명은
this ASL Season 12,
근데 이제
but it's not in
두
final,
명은
on
자신이 없기
semi-final.
때문에 이제 명훈이 형이랑 결승에서
So,
하고
Mini
싶었는데
says
4강에서 좀 준비를
He
많이
really
해서
wanted to play against Queen on the final, but
그래도
it's
자신이 있는
unfortunate that
모습이
they gotta
변현재
play on
선수에게 있기
the
때문에
semi-final.
김명훈 선수도 굉장히 좀 긴장을 하고 있을 것 같습니다.
So Mini saying
이번
he
시즌은
feels
좀
confident
프로토스의 우승을
because he
간절하게
beat
바라는 팬분들이
Queen
굉장히
last time,
많습니다. 변현재 선수가 그
and
희망을 계속해서 좀 이어나가
he thinks he's
주셨으면
gonna be doing
좋겠다라는
great
마음을
against
가지고
Queen once
계실
again
텐데
for this
팬들에게도
ASL
한
Season
말씀
12.
해주실까요?
일단은 좀 오늘 경기는 제가 운이 좋았던 것 같아요. 이제 제가 첫 경기에
Mini
생더블을
says-
준비했는데 경기를 앉아보니 저 자리가 명훈이 형 자리더라고요.
네.
아이디가 적혀있길래
So Mini is talk.
준비하고도 뭔가 그
Mini
명훈 선수가 운이 많이 좋거든요.
Mini
그래가지고
says
나도 운이 좋을
the
거라고
moment where
하고
he's
들어갔는데
when he
아니다,
sat
오늘 좀 운이 좋더라고요.
네.
at the
좀 생각이
computer
명훈이
with the
형 아이디를
at the
보기에
computer like
좋았던 것
start
같고,
logging in,
이제
he
좀
found out
기분
that
자체가
Queen was using that
명훈이 형
computer.
때문인지
He saw
모르겠지만 이제
Queen's ID was there,
때문에 4강에
and he kind of noticed
잘할 수 있을 것 같아요.
like
과연
he
두
might gonna have
선수의
some
4강
great
경기
luck
어떤
because
선수에게도
Queen
운의
is the
행운의
type of player
여신이
who
손을
does have a
들어줄지도
lot of
굉장히
luck all the time.
기대됩니다.
So
4강 경기에서
he kind
뵙겠습니다.
of
다시
thinks
한번
that it's gonna work out well whenever he goes for the 12
네,
Nexus for
말씀해
game number
주세요.
1. Oh, he wants to say thanks to Sharp, JYJ. I
네,
think he also
4강에서
mentioned another
뵙겠습니다.
Terran player,
축하드립니다.
but I cannot remember.
자, 이렇게 해서
And
4강의
he's
두
just pretty
번째
much
자리에
appreciating
오른
all the
변현재
support
선수와
by other
함께 이야기
ASL players.
나눠봤습니다.
Thank you for the support, and thank you for the interview.
We are going to get a look at the results, guys. Of course, a 3-0 win for Mini. 12 Nexus on game 1. Into some good 7-fact play from Royal. Then on Lemon, we had that wild game back and forth. And then, of course, Mini with his killer instincts kicking in, going for that 3-gate. 2 of them proxied DT. And unfortunately for Royal, just not his day. His academy timing, literally 10 seconds too late for the DTs. Had no eBay. But still, I don't even know if that would have saved him because he only had 1 tank in the bunker, and that's not enough DPS or scans to deal with 3 DTs. And that sets up our revenge match from Season 11. It's going to be Queen versus Mini in the round of 4. How hype is that, Scan?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to see them playing on maybe in a semi-final or final, but it's kind of like unexpected to see them playing on a quarterfinal, I would say. I mean, those games are pretty much like more valuable to watch on like semi-final, in my opinion.
Well, now we're getting a look at our remaining round of 8. Of course, my match of the group. It's Soma versus Rush, and that's going to be coming at us on Sunday. And then we've got another Terran versus Zerg, Light versus Hero. Hero's been looking really good, but I know Light on stream has just actually looked pretty much unstoppable. This guy's crazy. We saw him pull off an almost impossible feat, which is go split map Polypoid versus Snow. So he's just looking so dangerous these days. And then of course we've got Soma and Rush. Soma innovating Zerg. Rush also looking very good. So it's going to be an exciting final 2 series of the round of 8, and we're going to find out who is going to be moving on into the round of 4. And then we still have potentially what you wanted, Light versus Mini finals, because he made it into the round of 4 already.
Yeah, those players are looking great, solid looking. I think yesterday there was an ultimate battle between Light and Soki, and Light beat Soki 6-3. So Light has been performing really well. Terran versus Zerg matchup. So I'm also looking forward to see how well Light is gonna be played against Hero. But at the same time, his playstyle also kind of like spoiled to Hero. That Hero might be starting off how Light is playing, and maybe go for the counter strategy for it.
Yeah, it might be the case. We know that Hero can play all types of builds. He can play Hydra Lurker, he can play Ultraman, he can play Mutas, he can do it all. It would be cool to see how Light deals with Hydra Lurker. I mean, that's what I want to see, because I like Hydra Lurker Defiler. To me, that comp is just ridiculous. But of course, Rush versus Soma coming up. We'll see what Soma has planned for Rush. Rush these days, Sometimes actually when I watch him play, I get feelings of the old school Rush where he kind of maybe is a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too overextended. So I'm a little bit worried in that matchup for him, but we'll see what type of Rush shows up on Sunday. Hoping it will be a good matchup because, as I mentioned before, these guys have played like 600 games in sponsored matches. It's crazy. And the win rate was like 52%, I think, in favor of Rush. So really close series it should be.
I just cannot wait until that day comes. I want to see how they are gonna be played.
Yeah, and you don't get to see any more Protoss. You get to see all Terran and Zerg.
Maybe it's just because my main race is Terran.
Yeah, that could also be the case. I think that our caster is going to wrap it up in just a second. I'm trying to judge from his looks, of course, guys. As you know, we have no audio, so we gotta just make a complete guess here. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. The games were quite exciting today. I thought Royal, even though he lost 3-0, was playing quite well. His macro was on point. He was hitting everything, especially in Game 1 and Game 2. The Lemon game, definitely, I think he could have won that. But Mini just played a little bit better. He's going to be moving on.
Yeah, we have seen how Royal has been improving every single season. Like, he climbed up higher and higher. So this time he got eliminated, and maybe he got eliminated in round of 8. Maybe next season, maybe he might be gonna go for the semifinal.
It could happen if he's moving up every single season, just one step at a time. That means season 14, he should be our winner, right? Make it to the semifinals next time, and then season 14, he needs to make that ID on the ladder, ASL 14 champ Royal, like Rush used to do. I love when Rush would make that count name. I don't think I saw it for season 12 though.
Yeah, Rush hasn't done that kind of nickname for maybe about a year by now, and he has been using YamTube a lot, all the time, every time when he gets on StarCraft, and kind of pretty much advertising up his wife's YouTube channel, and
Yeah, he does use YamTube all the time. So I actually went to YouTube recently and I searched for YamTube. I found it. I was expecting to see all these games or streams from Rush. There were just no games, man.
yeah, just eating.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be like Snow or Flash or whatever, just have a big YouTube channel. He just doesn't have it. I guess all of his VODs are on Afrika still.
I heard his wife is a nutritionist, so pretty much making healthy food all the time for her husband, for Rush. Oh, looks like they're done wrapping it up.
Yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely tune in next week. We've got 2 Terran versus Zergs coming at you. Rush versus Soma, Light versus Hero. Both of those series should be very exciting. Going to round out our top 4 and find out who's going to be facing off and get ready for our finals in the next couple weeks.